Hello and welcome to part 2 of this history of Halodoom Code of Silence. Thanks to YouTube's 10-minute limit, I had to cut the last part off. That map that you were seeing before was Elongation Remake. This is the original predecessor to Warehouse, which is probably one of my more favorite maps. It was released in the demo. This is a factory level. It escapes me who originally made the idea of it, but this is based on a previously made deathmatch map. Factory something. I don't remember. Yeah, this was the earliest build of Warehouse, and actually more fun than the current version, in my opinion. This map also never saw the light of day. It's a Covenant base map, sort of. It was either that or it was a Covenant ship that crash landed. I don't remember. This level, High Ruin, is also a remake, retextured to look old, like old Forerunner style. I really, as much as I really enjoyed this map, it never made it into the final release. Now this map, this is Utopia, which I explained a little bit about in part 1. It's one of two maps that inspired Atlantis, which is my Forerunner City map in the current version. This was the earliest version of that. Got big building in the middle, can completely walk around it, that type of thing. Yeah, nothing really else to say about it. It's one of my more favorite geometry forms. This map, I don't even remember the name because I made it. It was one of the last maps I made with the old weapons that you're seeing used. Never made it into the final version. It's just a retexturing of an existing map. Now this is my first remake of the map Glaciation. This is, as you can see, Halo 3 had just come out. Well, not just come out. This is probably about 3 months after Halo 3 came out, because at that time I was more focused on actually playing Halo 3 than I was working on this. But once I got all that out of my system, I went back to work and obtained the frames for the assault rifle that you're seeing directly from Halo 3 in theater mode. Now the other weapons, the first frame of them are done. Just that was for my demonstration, just to see, like, to show which weapons were going to be included. Only the battle rifle and the assault rifle at this point are finished, and the battle rifle, even the reload isn't, when the melee are not finished. This is when I started using skyboxes, as you can see, instead of just using the standard Doom skies. And I also now have three-dimensional trees that you'll see again once I leave the inner part of this level. This level was called Generate. It never made the full version. It was kind of loosely inspired by High Ground. As you can see, those are the three-dimensional trees that I now have in the full version also. Yeah, as you can see, the battle rifle's fairly close to being done. Now this level was originally just going to be like, it had no theme in the single player, like most of my maps did and do. But as it turns out, I discluded this from multiplayer, and instead used similar geometry in my office level, which you'll see in probably part 3 of this series, because YouTube can only have 10-minute lengths. But yeah, that's that. This level is Obelisk, but back then, and the last version of this that was seen it was called Cyanus, and see my little placeholder there. This used to be called Cyanus, but I switch names. I gave Cyanus to another name that you'll see later, to another level. This is a remake of Alp Island, which was the first multiplayer map that I ever made, that you saw in part 1. I called this one Alpine. It's very close geometrically to what's in the final version, to Tidewater, which is the map that comes after this one. This is still, however, Forerunner style. As you can see, I used a lot of plant life in this one, because I was kind of inspired by the first level of Halo 3 to add those to my levels, but really it just made it a lot more laggy, so very few levels have this amount of plant life in it, just because of the lag that comes with it. But this was kind of at the turn of my game in terms of graphics, kind of midway in between. Now this one, albeit a really empty map at this point, this was my level Tropica, which is in the final version, just a lot different in terms of what's actually on it. Instead of having 2 bases like you see in this one, I brought it down to 1 base, which I think was a better idea for it. I also used a skybox in this, which albeit a really pathetic looking one, but what can you do? Now this is something I discontinued. I was debating whether or not to actually show it in this video, but this was going to be a remake of the Halo 2 map Lockout, Halo 3 map Blackout, but without 3D floors it's not as easy. Now this was Vortex Island. This was one of my first ideas for a Halodoom single-player map. You kind of go in a vortex shape on this island until you get to the middle, which is a large structure. This has a lot of grass textures, a lot of plant life textures in it, and it is in the final version of my campaign. You will see it later. There aren't as many hills, and it's but it is more it is less laggy and more entertaining, I think, how I have it in the game now. But this was the, I think, second or third version of the map that I actually made, just retexturing and whatnot. Now this is my slums level. I have yet to give it a conclusive name. The first part that you're seeing right now with the stairs right here and the sniper rifle, this is in the final version, pretty much intact, texture-wise even. But I change it up a little bit once you get further on into a building that I'll point out when we get to it. But this part is all in the game as is right now, except for the UAC boxes. They're nicer, but like I say, you'll see that when it comes to that. I used to have this thing about mattresses, and I decided to put a mattress in here that you could bounce on. I don't think I'm going to include it in the final game. It's a little cheesy, but there it is. This part is about where it cuts off in the final version, which you'll see later. I'll actually show you the map in part 3 of this video. Yeah, this is that was just a save game. Always lags out a little.